What's up guys, Houndish here, today with some more news about Age of Triumph, as well as a breakdown of all of the known balance changes coming in the new update. Firstly though, today some supposed Destiny 2 leaks surfaced online, and these came initially from an Italian website. This is all over Reddit right now, but if we take a look, these are actual pictures of a real poster, apparently inside of a GameStop, and we can see the language on this poster is Italian, but we actually have 3 Guardians on the front right there, which do look very legit. If this isn't real, it's been done incredibly well. The fact that these are physical posters in a GameStop though is very interesting. We can see the Guardians wielding new looking weapons as well as new armor that does really tie into what we would expect to see in Destiny. The text on these posters is Italian. In the second one, you can see that they're advertising a beta that will arrive in advance of Destiny 2, and they're also listing a release date right there for the 8th of September. Also, if we look at the top of the poster, we can see a PlayStation or Sony icon, suggesting that Sony exclusives in one way or another will continue with Destiny 2. However, we have no idea whether this stuff is real or entirely fake. If it's fake, they've done an incredibly good job of it. A lot of this stuff does look pretty legit. As always though, we should take this with a pinch of salt. If this stuff is indeed real though, I think we're going to start seeing Destiny 2 information and leaks all over the place. For now though, let's move on to the content in this video. So let's start out with some details they missed in the stream. Firstly, and this is a pretty big one, we will be getting some kind of vendor reset on a weekly basis during Age of Triumph. Big shout out to Mesa Sean for getting this info from Josh Hamrick on Twitter. Sean asked if vendors are getting a refresh on weapons and roles since those weekly activities will offer so many legendary marks, and Josh Hamrick replied, yes, I believe it will be weekly. So that's pretty awesome news. We don't have confirmation of whether that means the actual stock will bring back older weapons or gear, or whether they will just re-roll what we have now on a weekly basis. One thing is for sure though, this is a pretty great move for the game right now. Imagine all of the cool combinations and rolls that we might see. This will certainly help to keep those weapons desirable since old raid weapons are also returning. Up next though, Josh Hamrick replied to Dr. Bear on Twitter when he asked about how we will earn the Vex Mythoclast and Necrochasm in year 3. Hamrick says the Vex is standard, I believe, and the Necro has a new quest. So that confirms there will be at least one new exotic quest inside of the update. Exactly how this will work has yet to be seen, but Josh Hamrick did confirm that it will loosely be based around the original structure, but won't be so heavily dependent on RNG. So on top of what we already know about Age of Triumph, these are some pretty awesome additions, but up next I want to talk about the sandbox and balance changes coming in Age of Triumph, or at least all of the ones that we know about. So firstly, auto rifles are getting a range buff of sorts in that Bungie are bumping up the maximum damage number that they will fall off to. So this essentially means that they will do more damage at range than they currently do, and when range drop off is occurring, they will hit a higher damage number than they did previously. Dependent on what these numbers are, this could make ARs a little bit more competitive versus other mid-range primaries, so that sounds like a good move. They did confirm that hand cannon range is being slightly reduced. It will be by a pretty small amount, say around 2 to 3 meters, so it's not going to have a huge impact on how they perform, except at their more extreme effective range, where they still tend to be quite inconsistent. So I do feel like we'll notice the change, but I don't personally think it will be huge. Of course, we'll have to wait until the update to see how it plays out. No Land Beyond is going to receive more flinch from incoming damage, much more like other snipers do in the game right now, and this is in order to combat how easy it can be to land shots mid-gunfight. So we actually get some footage here, and as you can see, when under fire, the No Land is absolutely all over the place. Bungie did reiterate that if your shots are on point, it will still be effective, so we'll have to see how it plays when the update drops. Some cool changes we've just learned about include that special ammo will now auto-load into your magazine on pickup in PvP. Whatever special weapons you're using will not have to be reloaded, which is a pretty great change, and I feel like it will encourage more diversity because on top of the sidearm changes, it will reduce the downtime when you get ammo and allow you to jump straight into battle. So I think this will make the system feel a little bit less jarring when you're using a variety of special weapons. We finally get an in-game demonstration of how scorries will work after the patch, so you will need to make a kill while your super is full to activate scorries, which we can see happening right here in the video. video, after that kill you have a 60-second timer where scorries will remain active. After this time you will need another kill to jumpstart the scorries effect again. Of course, if you use your super in this time, you will not be able to activate scorries. So I feel like this is a really good change. I can't wait to see how this feels, especially in modes like Trials of Osiris where it's become a bit of a problem. Truth is being changed to offer one more rocket in reserve, so you will still only have one warhead loaded at a time. However, the reload speed is also being bumped up so that it will offer the fastest reload of any launcher in the game, which I think is a good compromise between where it was before and where it will be after this patch. Of course, sidearms are being changed so that they do not stack ammo. They will still spawn with one magazine of ammo like they do initially, but you won't be able to just carry around hundreds of rounds which persist between deaths in PvP. For hunters, they're going to be removing the old recovery nerf entirely. Additionally, they're looking at pulling back the time that you're hoodless when you use blinks. So it will still feel pretty similar to how it does right now. You will just be punished by the hoodless effect a little bit less. As far as other gear and abilities in the game which have health regeneration elements, Bungie are going to buff the amount of health you get back by 58% on Hungering Blade, Red Death, Lifesteal, Transfusion, and Quarterize. And for Suros Regime, No Backup Plans, Ward of Dawncast, Apotheosis Veil, and Embrace the Void, they will be reverting the health regen change entirely. All of these will perform as they did before any of these changes. Of course, we will get full details inside of the patch notes, which will drop on the 28th at 10 AM PST, which is also when Age of Triumph will launch. So a lot of very interesting things changing in the game right now. I'm very excited to see how it all plays out on Tuesday, as well as jumping into those raids and getting some of the returning gear and all of that stuff. For now though, I hope this video has been useful to you guys. Let me know any thoughts that you have in the comments section below. If you have enjoyed the video, a like is always appreciated, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit subscribe to see a lot more Destiny content. For now though, you guys have an awesome day.